let's go down to a guy who knows Memphis very well, Ben Ferguson. He is the host of the Ben Ferguson podcast. He also has a podcast with Ted Cruz, joins us from Houston. So I know you have deep roots in Memphis. Your father's in law enforcement, and you know what the deal is down there. If I spoke for 13 minutes, did I say anything wrong or anything misguided or anything naive?
No, I don't think you did. I do think that a lot of people have missed, Bill, this story, and this was a lack of institutional control at the Memphis Police Department that caused this. And let me explain a quick timeline for you. Several years ago, the Memphis City Council decided they were going to be on the forefront of defund the police movement. How they did that was by taking away the retirement benefits for fire and police. When that happened, it was a catastrophic event in Memphis because all of these senior members of the Memphis police force and the EMTs and the fire department turned in their resignations for retirement. They said, if you're not going to give us what we've been working so hard for and you're taking away our retirement benefits, we're going to instantly leave to a different place that is safer or pays us more money because you're literally stripping us of what you promised us. That is when this, in my opinion, basically that was what lit the match. So all of these people that had ties to the community, that were respected by the community, that could talk to the different people in the different neighborhoods, vanished. Then you had another thing that happened. They wanted to defund the police again, and they decided that not a single law enforcement officer could live outside of Shelby County. Now, if you look at Memphis on a map, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, I can literally drive in all three states, Bill, in 15 minutes at the speed limit. That's how close they all are. People live in Mississippi and work at FedEx. Thousands of them work and live in Mississippi and work in Memphis, tens of thousands. And that was their way, again, of defunding the police, getting rid of police officers. The citizens of Memphis were so outraged. They decided to get it on the ballot so that the citizens could vote, saying, we don't care where a police officer lives. We're down at that point, Bill, 500 police officers that has now gone to 700 police officers we are missing. That is the city's own study. And what they did was the city council said, no, screw you, citizens. They took it off the ballot and said, you cannot hire a police officer that doesn't live inside of Shelby County. When that happened, you have a bunch of young cops now, just like this Scorpion group, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of service, without having enough captains to even look over them. When the new police chief, C.J. Davis, who I think did an excellent job with this, she came in the city, the first thing she said was, I desperately need senior law enforcement officials to mentor and to oversee a extremely young police force, because all of my good guys have been here that were invested in the community that lived here. They've all retired.
I think we got it.
That is how this happened.
So the structure of policing breaks down in Memphis, and you can see the crime stats.
They're through the roof. One of the most dangerous cities in America. Bill,
the worst for violent crime. The worst.
I've been shot at in Memphis.
Okay. But still, these guys, these officers, 3 with college degrees, had to know that they were ruining their own lives.
I don't think they did. And this is where I will disagree with you, and I'll explain why. The crime in Memphis is so out of control. And I'm a victim of a gun crime, and I grew up in a law enforcement family. I had to use a gun to save my own life. It was a gang initiation in Memphis, Tennessee, where 2 gang members tried to kill me on purpose. It was to get in the gang. They call it having blood in the gang. When you're dealing with a city that's out of control, where every single police officer every day is on edge, and there are constant carjackings, there are constant seniors being beaten. 2 weeks ago, Bill, we had a man that was accused of first-degree murder that walked out of jail with 0 bail, no bail. He was accused and charged of killing a man, first-degree murder, and he walked out. When I and others exposed it in Memphis, they said, oh, the system got it wrong. We'll go rearrest him and have set a bail for him. These cops are on edge. As soon as there was a scuffle and he took off running, they're on heightened alert because this is now a war zone in Memphis.
But he was
Does that
unarmed,
justify their
though.
actions?
They knew
No,
he
it
was.
doesn't.
They knew he had no gun because he didn't resist at first. They knew he didn't have a weapon.
Couldn't agree with you more.
And they beat the living daylights out of him.
No, they murdered him.
Anyway.
They murdered him.
Right.
But
wait, Ben. Look, you can be inexperienced. You can have no supervision. You can be on edge because the crime is out of control. All of that. But when it comes down to self-preservation, you go wild? You put your own life and family in jeopardy? That's the key.
And I think this is what has happened when you have, I call it lack of institutional control. You've lost control from a leadership perspective, and it's the Wild West. And they don't think about the repercussions for their actions. And they didn't think that that camera on that pole, on that street corner, was actually watching them. And thank the Lord it was there. And thank the Lord that Tyre Nichols' mother continuously said to the community, do not loot, do not riot. I believe that she's a saint. I believe she's an angel. She single-handedly kept my city, I truly believe, from burning down and having it turn into total anarchy, because she kept saying that over and over again for her son's legacy. But if we want to fix this problem, and you mentioned this in your monologue about, I usually am a guy that wants to have, resolution and come up with a way to fix it. You fix this by actually being honest. And the police and the city council and the worthless mayor of Memphis, who continues to play into the anti-police propaganda, defund the police, no bail, prison reform. There's a Soros DA we just got there, Steve Mulroy. When you keep playing with fire and you continue to have a lack of institutional control of your police department, this will happen again, because you need actual police officers with experience overseeing the young guys and training them up, and we don't have that.
I don't think this is going to happen again, but I think that the state of Tennessee has to take over the policing in Memphis.
And the city council will never let them, because
doesn't matter. Governor has the authority. The governor has the authority to declare a state of emergency in Memphis to just obliterate the city council, and that's what has to happen. Hey, Ben, we really appreciate your perspective. I don't think our viewers and listeners will get that anywhere else, and I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Good to see you, man. God bless his family.